What's up? Good morning, people. So you know what time it is. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and that means I'm buying car parts. So the other day my dad came to visit and I wanted him to drive the Miata around, and he got stuck. And I was driving my friend Chris's AMG in front of him, and I was like, yo, what's going on? Said the car wasn't moving. So if you guys watched my last video when I replaced the top, I put this part in the end. I got my car towed. The slave cylinder and the master cylinder need to be replaced. I know that usually when you do one, you do the other, so I got both of them. So, yo, let's not make a video here, bro. The disrespect. So we got this CarQuest thing here. Actually, let me show you another thing. So we got this. I know CarQuest is not like going to be as good as OEM, and I know that there's also like a hydraulic replacement system you can replace the master cylinder with to make it like better, and this way it won't fail. But I'm going to use these for now because there is a car meet tonight and I want to take my Roadster. It's actually Roadster night, and yeah, so I want to get this done ASAP today. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, so we should have more than enough time. The meet is not until 6, so we got these CarQuest parts, and they have warranty, which is kind of why I bought them. I think all said and done, this was about $33. I saved like 20% on Advance Auto. Shout out to Advance Auto. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and install these when I get home. Gotta love Miata parts, man. They're super cheap. Tonight is Roadster night, and I was gonna do like a little cruise. Basically, like we're gonna go do some back road driving, and then we'll drive over to the meet. But my Miata is not currently able to move right now, so that's unfortunate. So I decided to cancel it. I was gonna try to get it done before the afternoon, maybe like see if I can get it up and running, and then go ahead and do that. But unfortunately, I don't want to risk it, and I don't want to like have the whole cruise set up and organized and then I'm not there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and we're gonna head home. We're gonna put these things on. Also today I'm gonna do a coolant flush, kind of, not really a flush, just kind of remove all the distilled water in there because it is running on distilled water, and I'm gonna put coolant in. I got like this Prestone like Asian 50/50 coolant, which is pretty good for the Miata, so I'm gonna put that in. And car already runs fine, doesn't run hot or anything, but just for peace of mind, I'd rather have coolant in there rather than distilled water. By the way, before I head out, I'm just gonna do like a little Instagram video with the car parts, but I gotta do the AC on the Civic, so I basically replaced everything already, and I've been told multiple times it's the expansion valve. So I had one of these like Honda guys that built Hondas. I just asked him, I was like, yo, what's going on with it, man? He's like, where'd you get the expansion valve from? I said, AutoZone. It's like a $15 Four Seasons auto or something like that. He's like, screw that one, just go get an OEM one. It'll run you about 50-60 bucks, but it'll be worth it. It'll work. That's one of those like OEM parts, you just gotta get OEM. It just does a job and it does it well. Just get the OEM one. So I'm gonna pick up an OEM one and replace that this week, and hopefully I'll evacuate the system, replace it, then charge it up again, and hopefully AC works, because this is my daily driver and I haven't had AC in almost a year now, and I live in Florida, so it's hot as fuck. All right, so we got this oh, there we go. We got this brake bleeding kit. Holy shit. So I think it's just one long tube, but I only need one, I think, so this should be fine. 13 bucks. Not terrible. So on the NA video, it shows that this is a 12, and that is also a 12, and this is a 10. However, I'm pretty sure I just took this off of the 13, like I loosened it. Maybe I was wrong, so just in case, I'm gonna try again with the deep socket 12. The deep socket one needs to go onto the bottom one there. So we're gonna crack this little 10 mil right here, and it's gonna spill clutch fluid because there's still a little bit in here. Oh, my seal's there, but you can kind of tell there's still a little bit in there right above there. So you don't want any of the spill on the paint because that will strip it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna stick a rag right underneath here just in case anything happens. And now we can crack that 10 mil, and then these two 12s here, and then this literally just comes right off. Alright guys, so it was raining, but you can see now the reflection off my engine. It is sunny again. So I was gonna quit. I put this back on. I had already taken the top 13 mil off, but it stopped raining. So we popped out the 13 on the top. I don't know why this is a 13 and the bottom's a 12, because on the NA Miata I watched from Car Passion channel, they're both 12s. But anyway, we still have the cloth over here just in case this happens to drip anymore. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and let that down real quick, but just in case it happens to drip anymore. So here is the slave cylinder, or actually master cylinder, sorry. We'll replace the slave cylinder in just a second. So we're gonna take this inside and set up the new slave cylinder, bench bleed it, and then bring it out here. So here is the new master cylinder. There's the old one. You can see obviously this one's full of rust and shit. So we're gonna go ahead and put the fluid in this one. I've seen Greg, the Car Passion channel, he just kind of like put his thumb here to kind of create a seal, and then he stuck a screwdriver in the side of this and kind of like, you know, actuated using the clutch, and he would kind of like bleed it that way. What you missed, I got a little frustrated, not gonna lie. I didn't make Roadster night, and I was looking forward to that for the last few weeks, and when I picked up the Miata, I realized, oh my god, I could take it to Roadster night. I love going there. Never had a Roadster before, now I'm able to take it, but I didn't get it done in time. I was struggling with, there's 2 bolts on the slave cylinder, one on top and one on the bottom, and I was struggling to get the bottom one off because you have to go underneath the car, and I was like trying so hard not to do it. So I was trying to avoid that in any which way possible. It didn't work. So I finally got underneath the car, got a little dirty, let it come out. I got the slave cylinder out, got the new one in. The line was kind of a pain in the ass to do. Make sure you just kind of fit the line first, from what I heard on some videos. Although I personally moved the line onto it, it was just a little hard to thread it at first. You don't want to cross thread it, so you got to be careful. So I did that, and then when I went up to the master cylinder, which I had already had on at that point, all the fluid had drained out because obviously it's from the master cylinder and it goes down. So I redid the master cylinder, I took it off, I bled it again, and then I put it back on. Everything's good, the clutch fluid's still in there. The only thing I didn't do was bleed the clutch, so we're gonna do that today, right after I'm done doing this coolant, and car should be really good to drive after this. I'll take it for a little bit of a drive, and hopefully temps are good and the clutch feels good. To bleed the clutch, you're supposed to, well actually there's 2 ways I've seen on YouTube. You can push the clutch in, or open the bleeder valve, push the clutch in, close the bleeder valve on the slave cylinder, and then let the clutch off, and then repeat that process until you don't see any more air bubbles. And what I'm gonna do is I bought this like bleeding kit, so I'm gonna grab a little hose, or a little line you can call it. I'm gonna stick it on the end of the slave cylinder, and I'm gonna put the other end onto a bottle, and I'll pour a little bit of brake fluid in there. This way you can see when it starts to pump out the brake fluid, and then when it starts to pump out some air. And then once you see no more air bubbles, you're good to go. By the way, your boy, when he did the brake fluid, or the clutch fluid, sorry, which by the way is still full, so it's good, no leaks. Those 2 spots there, here and here, is where I left brake fluid on accident, and also right here. I'm kind of pissed about this one because this is like legitimately in the engine bay, but I'm not too stressed about it. I do have to clean up this engine bay though. Look at the difference between this and the rest of this. It's just pure dirt. Alright guys, so last night I decided to go ahead and swap out the distilled water, or what I thought was distilled water. Turns out there was coolant in here. It smelled pretty disgusting, to be honest. It smelled pretty foul. So I put in coolant last night. It looks like there is enough here, but just to be sure, I'm gonna run the car in a second and put some more in here. So we have this like cool no spill funnel, really good for burping the coolant. We're gonna put it on. I'm using this stuff, some Peak for Asian vehicles. It says right here Mazda 1990 and up, so this should be perfect for this. I heard this was pretty good from a couple of Miata friends, so figured I'd pick it up. It's like 20 bucks from AutoZone. I'm not sure how much OEM Mazda coolant is, but I don't really care to go to Mazda to get it. This will be just fine, because this I can buy anywhere, and in the rare case that I might need some coolant, I can get this from Advanced Auto or AutoZone. Whereas OEM coolant, that ain't happening. If I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere, I'm not gonna be able to go to a Mazda dealership. So let's get this on. Oh, by the way, if you guys are curious, obviously this is the radiator all the way at the bottom. If you look, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's a small opening here, and there's a drain plug. The drain plug has no peacock. It's just an actual screw. It's a Phillips head screw. It's plastic though, so be careful not to strip it when you're tightening it. I hope I didn't strip it last night. I felt like I was maybe applying a little too much pressure, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow. So here we go. This should be good. Slide this on. We'll get this out of here. That right there. It's so nice to have the tools you need when you need them. So I'm gonna cut this open here. I hate doing this with my finger. I gotta stop filming on my phone and start filming with a real camera, but I'm gonna start pouring this in here. I'm gonna need a second hand for this so I don't spill it. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we barely poured any in there. From last night, from what I saw, it looks like it could have taken a little bit more, but this is about 1 gallon, so I guess it takes a little over 1 gallon, and we didn't fill the reservoir yet, so we're gonna do that. Keep in mind, the reservoir on my car was absolutely filthy. I tried to clean out the inside of it. The outside's still a little bad, but the inside was terrible. So you can see there's like some gunk on the bottom there. I could not get that off. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find like a new one of these, and I'm gonna buy a new one. All right, coolant is in. Now let's go start the car. It smells like a brand new top in here, man. I love it. Let's feel this clutch pedal. Oh God. Fucking no feel, man. Gotta put some fluid in here. All right, you ready? So let it run for a minute, and it should be good after. You 100% have to run the system. You want to make sure there's no bubbles like that. That's all the air getting pushed up. So want to run it for a little bit, maybe about 10-20 minutes. Make sure it's up to operating temperature, and make sure the fan. Well, actually, I'm not sure because this fan only comes on with the AC usually, unless the car gets hot. So just let it run for 10 or 20 minutes and make sure there's no air bubbles when you're done. And keep filling up, of course, as needed. All right, so looks like no more bubbles, and it's been running for about, let's say about 20 minutes or so. And temps, as you can see, are perfect. And I even ran the AC, which if you put them on instantly, both fans will kick on. So I ran it like that for about 5 minutes or so. It didn't overheat or anything, went really well. Both fans were working, and then I turned it off, let it sit for a few more minutes, and now we're good. Go ahead and kill the car now. And we have literally 0 pressure in the clutch. So we gotta burp this thing ASAP. There's like a ton of air in here. And not burp it, but you know, bleed it. All right, guys, I have pedal feel. At first, I had the bottle, and you know, I would open the slave, or yeah, open the bleeder valve on the slave. My helper would push the clutch pedal. I'd close the slave, the bleeder, and then you let go. And you repeat that process until you get all the air out. Now, I had no indication of when the air would come out. I just figured we'd do it 15-20 times, and that should be good. And I kept noticing the clutch fluid will go down, which I thought, okay, great, it's going into the slave cylinder, it should be moving through, and everything should be fine. So I had the cap off on the master cylinder, obviously, because you have to keep topping it off. And after about 20 or 30 tries of this, I was like, there's still no pedal feel, it's not getting anywhere. So I was like, whatever. I put the cap back on, I went inside to eat, hit up my friend Vinny and a couple of people in the group chat I'm in, and he's like, yeah, just cap it off, and it should hold pressure after that, and then press the clutch pedal in, it should have pressure. I come out, put the clutch in, feels great. I go through the gears freaking work. It slots right into gear with no hesitation, no resistance. I can't believe this guy. I'm gonna go for a drive with the top down tonight, and maybe I'll do like a little point of view or something, because this was so, this is so worth it. I can't wait, man. It's got AC, it's got coolant in it now, fresh coolant. All I gotta do really is an oil change, and I'm gonna change all the other fluids, the LSD, brake fluid, power steering fluid, the whole 9. But coolant is good, so I just got to do oil and all the other fluids, and we should be golden after that. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the wheel on, and we're going to go for a drive tonight. So I'll see you guys in the car a little bit later. Look at this. Ready? Clutch in. Right? Clutch out. Clutch in. It's got resistance. That's my foot flicking up. Check this out. Well, it still feels sloppy, but it feels better when you put it into gear now. It feels more satisfying. Can I go into reverse? Yep. Dude, this is golden. I can't believe this. One more time. Check the clutch pedal out. Yes! Dude, I am so going for a rip tonight. With the top down for the very first time. For those of you who don't know, I've never had the ability to put the top down. The top that came with the car was really messed up, and I even tried to put it down the very last day that it was on when we were going to take it off, and Chelsea and I were going to put the new top on. and it just wouldn't go down. I think the glass was in the way, and the tears were making the glass it was causing it to sag a little bit. I don't know, we just couldn't get it down. So this is the brand new top, and I am greatly looking forward to putting it down. I've got some new latches from this guy named Eli. He's a pretty cool dude. He's got like 5 Miatas as well. These latches are holding in. I bought it from him for like 20 bucks. So definitely a good buy. But yeah, I'm going to go for a drive tonight. I can't freaking wait. So, same problem with the Miata. I turned the car on. I haven't driven it since I replaced everything. And when I put the clutch in, you can hear this like noise. And if I put the clutch in and try to shift, I'm locked out of every gear. Even if I pump the clutch a bunch of times, it doesn't matter. Can't get it to move. So, not sure.
Next time on
MaxSpeed